anyone can recharge their car's AC. Like a pro. Be a pro with AC Pro.
We're ready for it?
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for
What?
functionality
They added 3
and
commercials on it?
freedom of creation.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Hopefully everybody's having a great Saturday night. All right. We had to do the intro, which was the ooh, vaporwave, synthwave, Jason Sanders, satisfaction guaranteed. Indeed. All right. Ba-ba. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I let Tula loose,
Uh,
and I think she's looking for your shoes.
oh, yeah, I got them on this time.
And she's going.
No shoes for
I
you.
said, poor Tula's got wearing them.
No shoes for you. No soup for you. Oh, yeah. 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 You might want to hear that one again. Everybody's favorite. Sounds like that. So. The G string. That sounds exactly like it. The B string. Okay. Oh, maybe it was just the A that was out of tune. Huh? Yeah. Was that it was the A string that was out of tune, I think. So got it tuned up. And then that's ready too. And we got the Mixer Elixir tonight. Looks like we're about to have ourselves a Saturday night. Saturday night, all right, I guess. Yeah. Okay, got my money for the beer run. Yeah. Yeah, there was a cool song playing in my head at like 4 a.m, but it's often too loud to do a jam out, at 4 a.m. So I just kind of, sometimes I record it on the phone, but it doesn't come out the same. And then so I can't remember what I was feeling or what I was hearing in my head, so I'm going to try to salvage this one though. So I'm going to try to figure out what the chords are and try to salvage it. It's all about that feeling when you write a song. It's about the feeling. So that's how I remember so well, because there's emotions, there's feelings. So that's what it's all about. Yeah. So memory must be emotions then, basically, in a nutshell. Yeah, because even though I remember, like, if I just sing it a cappella, sometimes I don't remember the feeling, the key. I don't remember the I don't remember the way like it sounds when the melody, when it overwhelms you. So I don't it's like a one-time feeling, right? It's hard to replicate it because it just comes and then it goes. And so it's hard to capture it unless you sit down, at a keyboard or work it out on a guitar or something like that. I usually just say, oh, you'll remember it. You have a great memory. You'll remember. Like, you can remember almost anything. So usually, but it's a lot harder to remember the feeling you were in. Like, that's a lot different to me. Yeah, it's easy to remember, like, the college exam or whatever, or the math problem, or it's a lot harder to remember a feeling. How do you remember that? Unless you have like musical notation or you already have a recording of it, then you can't really remember what it is. Oh well, I'll try to salvage the song. Yeah, if I got the original feeling back to it, I'd say, wow, I got the feeling back. Yeah. I would be impressed if I was able to salvage not just the song, but the feeling of the song. And that's would be pretty, I would be quite happy with that. So. Yeah, I heard they're coming out with AI bands now. I figure it's like the porn guys. The pornographers, they're these businessmen. And they're like, oh, what's the new thing? And then like, he's like, hey, let's do internet porn. And he builds like an internet porn empire. I think it's like that way with like an A empire. An AI empire. A bunch of rich guys are like, hey man, what are we going to do with our money, right? Like, how are we going to make a fortune, make a killing? And they're like, hey, why don't we make a fake band called Velvet Sundown? And the investors were like, yeah, let's do that. Whoever did it, whoever created it, whoever thought of it. It could be an individual. It could be a group of individuals. I mean, I'm not sure. But they made a fake band called Velvet Sundown. And it's like the Velvet Underground, Velvet Revolver, and then, there's... It's like, it wants to be like, this band, the vibration of it is that it wants to be retro 70s. It's not, well, I guess it's not really a band. This AI construct creation by whoever the individual or individuals who created this. They put out artwork, fake AI artwork for the group, and fake album on Spotify that has like millions of views. Yeah, I think some musicians and composers out there and creatives are kind of moaning because they put something out and they work hard for a long time and on their craft, on their music, and then something like Velvet Sundown comes along, which is an artificial creation construct. And I guess it's trying to be like Kings of Leon with Kansas, and like it's trying to be like a classic rock band, but like with like it reminds me of the Kings of Leon, even though it's not as good as the Kings of Leon. It has that vibe about it, right? Yeah. Velvet Underground, Velvet Sundown. That's just fucking lazy. It's like, oh, is the next AI band is going to be called the next fake group? It's going to be called the Centipedes or some shit. No, they'll just call it the fucking Beagles. Why actually be creative? Why even try? Just to be lazy and just rake in millions, I guess. Yeah, why even try anymore? Why even try to do art anymore, right? Why even care about art? Who gives a fuck about art? Just makes the fucking Benjamin stacks, right? Just make a lot of money. Fuck art. Yeah, I'm being facetious. I'm just saying, like, that seems to be the modus operandi that the music industry has been operating in, Yeah, I guess the music industry has always been about money. It's always been about greed. It's always been about profit. It's always been about the business of the music industry. But the listeners and the buyers had an auspice that they were a part of the process, that we were the fans and the consumers, that we were part of some artistic journey or something like that. We were sharing in the fruits of the artistic labors of the bands, of the musical groups that we loved. And so, I don't know how I feel about a lack of a human connection. It's just like, oh yeah, you don't have a movie by Steven Spielberg anymore. You have a movie by Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg doesn't have the same. Steven Spielberg. Yeah, maybe some artists out there, they're throwing in their hat, right? They're like, oh man, why even try anymore? Maybe there's some musicians that go hard into the paint. Maybe they're practicing, they're playing all the time, they're recording all the time. They really hope to make it, their album, their vision to come true. And then AI comes along and they're like, oh, is this like the end of dreams now? It's just gonna be AI slop and fucking rubbish for the rest of our lives? Like the days of people giving a shit about making creative endeavors and human art is like, you know, that'll just become an ancient, derelict, relic concept. Relegated to the dustbin of history, as it were. Why should humans do things if robots and machines could do it for us then? Or will there be a boom in human created stuff? Will this just create the antithesis? Maybe a few shysters and some hucksters and some Milli Vanilli type producers, you know, some kind of like Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees kind of producers, you know, greasy, slimy characters that don't really give a shit about the art. They're just like, I just need the talent so I can get fucking super rich, you know. These kind of greedy bottom feeders, these kind of sharks out there. So they take advantage of people is what I'm saying. Whether they be corporations or ruthless cutthroat individuals. Slimy producers, slimy managers, etc. Now, I'm not anti-commerce at all. I mean, of course, an artist should get paid for their music if it's, you know, of some kind of quality. And they have a fan base. Yeah, sure. Of course. They should be as successful as their, you know, creativity can take them to, for the individuals or people in the group. But do people want to hear mountains of AI generated shit that sounds kind of like something that was good? That just, it sounds like weird because you're listening to something that is supposed to, like the AI prompt is, okay, create an album of songs by a 1970s sounding band with modern influences, modern rock influences, and kind of sound like Kansas and the Kings of Leon, and they're like, boom, Velvet, Sundown, with a little bit of Leonard Skinner in there, with a dash of Leonard Skinner, and put a little bit of Velvet Underground and a little bit of the Stones. Mix it up for me. Put it in the blender. Boop, boop, and the computer's like, boop, 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 boop. Well, that spits some shit out. And then so whoever owns it is like, all right, charging money on Spotify. That was their whole idea. They're like, oh, there's AI. What are we going to do, man? Whether it was an individual or a group of individuals, they were all talking, you know, at the pub or in the business, wherever, and however they know each other. And they were getting together, right? Like conspiring. Like, man, let's make a killing with this new AI thing. Like, let's make a fake rock and roll band. How about that? Maybe they're part of the same bowling league at the bowling alley. I mean, who knows? Maybe they went to the same church. I don't know. I don't know who invented the Velvet Sundown, but not very creative, not very original. But as a business scheme, as a grift, as a business scheme, beautiful. Well, I mean, I guess this isn't the first time that they've had bands that weren't really bands. You know, they had the Monkees, a bunch of guys that they pretended to be like a band, and then they had other people writing the songs for them until they started to learn musical instruments and they started to make songs of their own. So is it too hypercritical to well, I mean, Yeah, I mean the Monkees were manufactured as a Beatles clone in the 1960s for a fake television show and a fake. I mean, I guess entertainment by its very nature is fake. So why not just make it even more fake? Why not make entertainment just so fake that it's just, you know, it's lives in some other kind of reality that's not even connected to ours. So I mean, I don't know if that really appeals to people or not, but just pure escapism of entertainment would be if it had nothing to do with our reality at all, had nothing to do with our problems, had nothing to do with our fears or sorrows or joys or anything like that, or human experience. Why make music that's relatable to people in the first place? Yeah, that's true. Why have anything be real? Yeah. Instead of your musical artist coming on the stage sweating his or her balls off, or vaginas off, or tits off. All right. Instead of connecting to the artist that you bought their record and you bought the ticket to their concert, and you're experiencing them performing their songs live, and you're having a real connection with these this person or persons, and you got this kind of connection, like I'm one of them, and you got all these people that are fans of the same group or bands, and it's like these are my people. This is kind of like the connecting factor. But you go to a Velvet Sundown concert, it's like, I guess the people like the AI generated Velvet Sundown, but there's just like screens of like gorillas or something, of cartoon characters that aren't really real doing stuff. It's just like, okay, I'm looking at unrealistic people. There's no group. They're not real. They're not real people. They're inventions by the computer, by the artificial intelligence. That was fed on learning programs. That was fed data. Large language models, large music models, or whatever they call them. So will the AI slop, the AI bullshit, will it backfire on itself? Kind of like the internet bubble in the early 2000s. And will there be like a rebellion of like human, non-automated, non-AI generated music? Will that cause like the reverse effect? Or will it be a long, dark period of AI shite before people rebel? Or will it be a quick rebellion? So I'm not sure how fast. I don't know how long the AI generated fantasies will last, but I'm not gonna buy a Velvet Sundown song and support this. I'm not gonna buy a Velvet Sundown album and support whatever kind of shyster and huckster is doing this, whatever kind of business asshole is doing this. So why should I give him a yacht when I don't have one, is basically the truth of it. AI, baby. Boom, 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 boom. AI, baby. Boom, 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 boom. AI, baby. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's go to the Stowe, as they call my hood. In my deep, dank gangster hood. In my deepest of dangerous hoods. Uh-oh. The Tula dude got loose. Tula? Tula? Uh-oh. I'm gonna drain my wizard real quick. Drain my wizard. Drain my wizard. Oh. Wayne's World 3, The Age of AI. Oh, yeah. Oh! Yeah, Tula! All right. Let it out. Let out your feelings. Unlimited AI. Whatever. Well, do you have a? Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Just plastic, please. Oh, thank you. Have a great night, sir. Yeah. No, I still didn't check my lottos from Thursday, so yeah, I could have won like, I don't know, a lot actually. Maybe if I got lucky, so, or I could have won nothing. But I'm gonna try to save up some cash flow to make some cash flow. So because mom is leaving to take grandma and aunt on Wednesday to Mount Scott in Oklahoma, where she's from, Lawton, where she met my grandfather, Neil Wheeler Jr., back in the day. And so, yeah, my grandfather was an Army soldier. So, not me, but he was. So, my grandma, she's had 2 strokes. She's crippled, but she still wants to go down memory lane, go see. And then before her, 86th birthday, she wants to come to Houston and go see Galveston and go see her friends and stuff. It might be the last time she ever gets to do any of this. So, because one day life expires, like the expiration date on the milk. Right? So, life has an expiration date as well, unfortunately. Did my grandfather on my father's side serve in the military? I'm not sure if he did. He could have, though. He was a successful businessman called Stanley. I know my aunt served in the United States Navy, so I think he served, though. For some reason, I get this feeling that he did. Hey.
I was gonna say, don't walk.
Okay.
They have the spotlight and the camera covering.
Oh, okay. So I'm on camera every day. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Cut through the pool. Yeah. All right.
Hey, I'm sorry, but that was hilarious.
What?
Both of them walking down to see you.
Yeah.
In the water.
I love you on back.
No, they did not like that you left.
Huh? Here, Vicky's out there, blah, 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 over here.
Yeah, I know. I was out there.
Yeah.
And then Sue started to,
Oh, yeah, I heard
no,
that.
she started laughing real loud.
Oh, Vicky? Oh.
And then Sue started barking.
Dude, you're too good, baby.
No, I was like, I was laughing. I was like, I feel like a queen before you got mad. St. Louis to my right and Bella to my left.
Oh.
And I said, I feel like Cleopatra or something, a queen.
Yeah, you're Catherine Patrick. What?
Catherine Patrick.
Is it Catherine Patrick?
Yeah. Anyway. But they like cats.
Oh, yeah, musicians.
Yeah. I think it was because of snakes.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I don't know.
They worshipped cats because of snakes? I thought they worshipped dogs too.
No, I mean, no. You don't go mix up.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying they fear snakes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I don't know what kind of dog they had or what kind of cat or.
Yeah.
Tula!
Tula, you being good? Need to be a goodie. Get in troubles.
No. Hey, Tula!
More elixir here.
Yeah, to the left. Hey, to the left. You say you.
Be a good dude instead of being a naughty. Don't want to be a naughty. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, that was a good one, dude. Yeah, working on it. Working on it. Got that elixir ready? The Fizzler. Whittler's Mixer Elixir Fizzler. Ooh. And then we have the Golden Beer Boot of Destiny. Got that. Got the Fizzlers going on there with the head. And so it looks like we're about to kick it off. Yeah, I just got one lotto ticket tonight. It was just a cash ride, which is like maximum prize $25,000, and then fourth tier prize, 4 numbers out of 5 is $350, and then third is $15. Oh, there's nothing if you get 1 out of 5. I think back in the day, they used to have it on the Cash 5. If you got 1 number out of 5, you got $2. But that was kind of draining the system. So they made it so the first, if you got 2 numbers, you only get a free ticket. So they find a way to jip people. Yeah, the system was a lot, was it fairer? Well, it was, the original Cash 5 was 1 through 37 numbers. And so the matrix was more difficult. And basically, when they reduced the matrix to a 35 number matrix, and that means that they took away that $1 would get you $2 back. So thereby making the game more difficult to get combinations stacked up where you could get money back. So. Yeah. After a company had ripped off the Texas Lottery, was it? No, it wasn't Barstool Sports. It was some other online gambling organization, and they spent like millions to try to take all the combinations down in an illegal operation in around Dallas area, and yeah, that's where, I mean, shady criminal activity might happen in Houston, but it's definitely going to happen in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Yeah. Oh yeah, they got some shady criminal enterprises, but I'm not surprised that like a major criminal operation would happen in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Not really all that surprising. So I thought the Texas Lottery was going to get scrapped entirely. And so after the theft of what they did, they basically, they bought the venue, and then they bought all the millions of tickets and all the possible combinations, and then they won like millions of dollars. It's basically what they did with the Texas Lottery. So trying to interfere with fair play again. I kind of miss those days in America. I miss those days in the world when there was fair play. I really do. That's the one thing I miss about the old school America is fair play. People playing by the rules. I mean, of course, people broke the rules and there was criminals back in the day. But generally speaking, in sports, And in sports, people played by the rules. You know, generally speaking, they had drug tests. They had, you know, there were standards. For gambling, it wasn't, I mean, the house was rigged to win, but somebody could, you know, hopefully maybe break through the system and win some money in Vegas or Coachella or state lottery or something, and some people could get through the cracks and could have a lucky time and, you know, do so fairly and honestly. And but as they said before, this is why we cannot have nice things. That's the old saying, right? Well, this is the reason why we can't have nice things. Yeah, the sad truth about the corrupting power of money and the evil that it will, that it has set forth upon the earth. So, it's shameful what they did in Dallas, but thankfully it didn't take the entire Texas lottery down with it. So thank God. So Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick was already trying to take away weed, going on a crusade against weed and THC edibles and stuff like that. Lieutenant Dan Patrick's crusade against weed. Yeah, reefer madness all over again. Pretty crazy, but I don't know why Christians, hardcore devoted Christians of the cloth, of the faith, followers of Jesus Christ. Now, I really don't understand why these old farts, so they're usually baby boomers, who used to smoke weed their ass off when they were in their teens and 20s, go on a... maybe it's because they're about to die, so they figure, oh, I'm going to devote the rest of my time to God or something like that. And so what they do is they go on a crusade against marijuana. They're about to die, so they want other people to be miserable too. So because they have limited time left. And so now if I had limited time left, I wouldn't want the world or the people in it to be miserable. You know, that exactly the opposite. But there's some people out there with power and they want for people to be miserable before they leave the world. And so they want to take away the weed edibles and the THC and the marijuana. In the name of what? You guessed it, protecting the children. Yeah. Actually, you know, my childhood, no kid I knew was interested in doing drugs. Not even remotely. You know, because kids are innocent. Children are innocent by nature. Only adults and only the world could corrupt children. But children just children naturally aren't interested in drugs and alcohol and shit and smoking and shit like that. Not until they get older are they even remotely interested in that shit. So I understand that drug cartels are starting to market drugs to children, or have been for a while, making gummies and making candies and things of that nature to Lieutenant Dan Patrick to me is an old relic of the past, a fuddy-duddy, a baby boomer that's past his prime and past his time. So what do I predict for the Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick? I don't think he's going to become governor of Texas. I don't think he's going to become a congressman, a senator. I think his career is just going to go, and then he'll just retire. Is pretty much what's going to happen. In a nutshell, I think. Now, was Governor Greg Abbott? Is he hipper? Is he hipper? Did he? My dad was in a wheelchair. Eric Stanley. He got stabbed in the back, paralyzed. And was in a wheelchair, since like at least 1984, and until his death in 2019. So I'm sure they give quadriplegics like Greg Abbott or my father. I'm sure they give crippled people, disabled people. I'm sorry. I'm sure they give disabled people some kind of pain meds or something, right? Some kind of management meds, some opioids, some kind of painkillers. And maybe Greg Abbott didn't sign that anti-THC edible bill because maybe he tokes a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe he has some of that sweet Mary Jane sometimes. You know, the pain. I couldn't imagine what the pain, the veterans and the people going through those traumatic injuries go through. I know that when I was badly injured, I took some Cody's. It was funny to me to call drugs silly names, like the codeine's called the Cody's, and the I don't call the opiates, I don't call them the opies, but I was having fun calling it. Oh, they got the Cody's, they got the. It was sort of funny, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Hunter S. Thompson and Johnny Depp and. Benicio del Toro, we got the laughers, we got the screamers, we got the uppers, we got the downers, we got the quart of beer, we got, it's like funny to call the drugs different silly names, oxys and oxycontin, call them oxys, and they call the codeine, I call it the Cody's, make up silly shit, right? Yeah, it's fun. It's funny to make up silly shit for drug names, right? Because if you have to do like the pharmaceutical name, it's not that romantic. But if you have a silly ass name for it, it's like. I would say that when I was severely injured, the painkillers they took the edge off of it. They really did. Yeah. I made a mistake. I got some stitches removed, and I didn't take my pain pill. That was a big motherfucking mistake because my shit was really painful, and it was a big motherfucking. I should have taken the pain pill, and because it was just like it's very painful shit. So there's some injuries that are super painful, obviously, and definitely getting smashed by a tree like Governor Greg Abbott, I'm sure that was pretty fucking painful, getting crushed by a tree. Yeah, sounds painful to me. I don't know if it's as painful as my father getting stabbed in the back and his spinal cord. It sounds pretty painful. Although I will say getting crushed by a tree doesn't sound like no picnic either. So, yeah, I like Governor Greg Abbott. He's got to keep the fuddy-duddies in check. I don't know if he's in the pocket of the THC or the cannabis lobby, but the weed business, the canna business. But I don't know who his master is. I guess it's Texas voters, I suppose. I mean, that would be in the fairy tale view of it, I guess. The politicians are fighting for the people. That would be like the version that citizens would love to hear. But, the truth might be more complex and complicated and nuanced than that. So, we'd all love life to be one big perfect fairy tale, but, the longer you live, the more you realize. Like George Carlin used to say, something is fucked up. Yeah. Oh, man. I do like Governor Greg Abbott. I think he's plenty hard. I think he's plenty badass. I think he's plenty. I think he's a great governor of Texas. I don't know what his political future is going to look like. I don't know if he's going to try to be a senator or It's got in a wheelchair trying to get up those Senate steps, man. Get up those congressional steps. I walked it myself. It ain't easy to go all those stairs going on in Washington D.C. You gotta kind of be a little fit. I guess he can get some people to wheel him up there if he gets into the House of Representatives of the United States Senate, I guess. Do I think he's just going to straight up run for president? Just say fuck it? I don't know. He'd have to compete against people that are younger than him, more able-bodied, maybe even better public speakers. So I don't know. I don't know if he'll just retire after his governor days are over, or if he'll try to throw his hat in a ring. I'm not sure. Try to go for higher office, in other words. But God bless him, and yeah, it's been a privilege in my life to have Governor Greg Abbott to be the governor of Texas. It really has. So I don't know about Fuddy Duddy Boomer. I don't know about the Fuddy Duddy guy, but Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. But I don't know about him. He's on his own biblical crusade or something, with Reefer Madness. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but anyways. Is there any drawback to marijuana? Well, it's a fun 4 hours. Yeah. I kind of view marijuana, THC, it's like you're board a plane, if you've ever been on an airplane. My first one was from Houston to Harlingen. And then my second one was from Houston, Texas to Washington, D.C. So those are my first 2 flights. And if you're in a flight, strap in, everybody show your ticket or whatever. There was a lot of shit before that, but you're ready to go, and then it's time for liftoff or whatever. No, it's not a rocket though. Yeah, it's time for takeoff. Yeah, not liftoff. Whatever. But you're kind of scared because you're like, oh shit, engines are revving up. Like, if you're scared of that sort of thing, and it's like, oh man, I hope nothing fucks up. And then finally, it's like getting high. You're like, and then you get higher and higher and higher and higher, and then you get into like that altitude, that cruising altitude that you're supposed to be at until you have to descend to your destination. And so that's what marijuana is like, but it's like a 4-hour plane trip. And then when you get sober from the dope, then you're like, ooh, and you cruise down, reduce the altitude, and then it's time to land into the land of sobriety and reality again. So to me, it's like generally pretty smooth, unless you got some crazy shit or something. There's something wrong. You got some laced shit with LSD or acid or whatever. Somebody laces your marijuana with mushrooms and fentanyl, then yeah, you're gonna have a bad voyage. But if it's just regular shit, if it's just regular marijuana, THC, then you're probably all right. But if it's tampered with, if it's altered, if it's mixed and laced with other drugs, it may not be very cool. So it's probably more dangerous to have marijuana. I'd say it's more dangerous to have marijuana illegal than to have it legal. Because when it's illegal, you don't know what kind of shit you're getting. That's the truth. So it's kind of like playing Russian roulette when you don't know what kind of shit you're getting. You don't know what kind of bud. You don't know the potency of the THC. You don't know what people have mixed in it, whether they put formaldehyde, whether they put LSD, whether they fuck with it in any way, tampered with it, altered with it, experimenting with your lives of the buyers, of the users. Well, it did translate to an interesting experience one time because me and my friend tried to get weed in high school. Me and my friend Eric, and I guess it was like what, the junior year of high school? No, maybe it was my senior year, and then Eric was in junior. And so then we there was this guy who was like this freckled faced kid with, you know, Eric Stoltz drug dealer attire, and he's some white trash guy with fucking sandy blonde hair and some punk ass motherfucker. And we were like, you know, oh, this guy who looks like he's into Nirvana, he probably has good shit. You know, this guy who's a stoner, I mean, he looks like he's a stoner. Because we kind of like identify people by what they look like. You know, when we were younger, we were like, okay, well, who's likely to have weed? Well, the guy with the long hair is probably going to have weed, or the guy dressing in plaid or whatever. You know, they look a certain way. They look like they look like Jeffrey Lebowski and stuff. We look for guys that look like that, right? We look kind of like they listen to classic rock music and get high. So we give this guy the money, but he's lying to us, Eric and I, and he gave us oregano, and we lit that shit up, and oh my God, we were so pissed. He fucking gave us a bag of oregano. Man. So we had a serious conversation. Eric, do you want to find this guy and just kick his ass? I mean, I'm talking for doing this shit, for lying to us. Do you want to just kick the fuck out of this motherfucker's ass? Do you want to break his nose? Do you want me and you to team up on this guy and just wail the shit and just beat this motherfucker to a pulp? Yeah. Oh, what's up? Yo, what's up? Yeah.
Oh, so I can see that you're keeping on running.
Hey!
Hey,
Come on, easy. Hey!
Hey!
Hey! Hey!
Oh, dear.
Hey!
I'm sorry.
You want to play?
I think she's got to pee because she keeps coming and growling.
Hey!
Too loud. Too loud.
Look. Me in the butt.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wash those hands tomorrow and all the rest of them.
So Eric and I decided, since we were 17 that we were going to have some kind of future, and we might want to have a clean record for that future, we decided not to kick the living daylight shit out of this punk ass. And we just, you know, we could give him cold stares in the high school. That was probably good enough instead of jumping him and then going to juvie jail. And I mean, it might have been fun. Fake ass weed, huh, motherfucker? And then coming out, you know, slamming him. That might have been funny, you know, his head against the fucking locker and shit. But, you know, until the cops came. So, until the 5-0 came. Until we were arrested and we had a juvenile record on it. And that might have it might have made it harder for people to get into college or get a job or whatever, right? So I was like, well, he just stole like $20. I know we were watching The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2. Somebody lies with the mafioso. They just kill people if they fuck them over for anything. Sometimes in The Godfather, like somebody looks at Michael Corleone weird and then he kills people, but we're like, we're not in The Godfather, so we don't need to go that far. Yeah, it does remind me of high school. They're playing Godfather Part 1, Part 3. Godfather Part 1, Part 2 a lot, and Godfather Part 3. And then the re-release, the recut Godfather Part 3, The Death of Michael Corleone, the Coda. They've been playing that like constantly on HBO. So then, all right, but our quest for weed would not be impeded. Yeah. This punk ass motherfucker would not impede our quest for weed. Am I impressed that I rhymed weed with impede? Indeed. The quest for weed will not be stopped. When people are determined to get the weed, people better take heed of the need. We were, I guess it was like Superbad was the story of the high school guys trying to get beer for a party so they could get laid with hot girls. Well, we are on the quest to get some marijuana, it's not really as cool as the quest of Superbad, but it was still a very heroic quest, undoubtedly. We had our own teenage heroic quest to complete back then. So finally, Eric got some good shit. But it was too good. So finally, he got marijuana, and it smelled like marijuana, and it was stanky like marijuana, and it was the real deal. It was the real buds of the marijuana. It was the real shit. So finally, he got a baggie of real shit. He comes over to my place, the same very house, and then he smoke that shit up. Smoke up the sweet Mary Jane. And he's like, hey, we're about to get high, man. You want to put a movie on? I'm like, sure. You mind if I put on something? You want to watch something cool, right? While we're high. He's like, yeah. Obviously people aren't going to like be getting high watching Godfather. That's like too heavy. It's like people dying, people getting shot up. I mean, there's like old people dying with tubes in their head and stuff. It's not exactly an uplifting movie, you know what I mean? Or uplifting movie series. So I doubt stoners pop in The Godfather parts 1 through 3 and Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone. So I wanted something cool, something that was a hit, something that had cool special effects. So I was a Star Trek fanatic in my youth and in my teenage years. I was a Star Trek nut case, basically, like a crazy ass fan. Like maybe not the craziest fucking fan there ever was, but like kind of obsessive in that. So I would call myself a space enthusiast. So I was really deep into science fiction and alternative planets and universes and all that kind of fun stuff. So, science fiction, fantasy in general. So, but big Star Trek. So I said, hey, can I put on Star Trek First Contact? And he's like, sure. So then at first the marijuana doesn't kick in. And the credits are rolling and stuff. And then the THC, the bud kicks in. But the cyborg battle against Earth and the Starship Enterprise and the Starfleet starts off. And oh shit, this isn't regular marijuana. Somebody's laced it with LSD. Yeah, we're having a hallucinogenic trip. We had no idea we were gonna have one. Yeah, we went inside the fucking movie. We were in outer space. I looked at him. I was like, "Are you feeling that? Like we're in outer space right now?" And he goes, "Yeah, we're not. This is not supposed to be happening." You go, "I know." The psychedelic effects do not stay strong for long. Otherwise, the situation would have gotten more and more memorable. But the LSD or the PCP effects, or whatever the marijuana was laced with, they thankfully they subsided. So we weren't on a full, it was only a few times where we felt like we jumped into the television, and thank God it wasn't the entire time, because we probably would have lost our minds in that kind of situation. So we saw Picard's head, Sir Patrick Stewart, and it went 3-dimensional, and we saw that. And for a moment, we were in space around Earth during the cyborg battle of Star Trek First Contact, just for a while. And then finally we zapped back into reality, and we were like, whoa, this is some great shit, but marijuana isn't supposed to make you jump into the movies, is it? Yeah, it's not supposed to do that. So then we theorized about the PCP or the LSD or something in there. Some kind of acid, some kind of hallucinogenic. They could have been some kind of mushrooms. Could you make mushroom marijuanas? I don't know. I'm not a biochemist. I don't know what kind of... I theorize you can make super drugs. Yeah. Why not? Why are there limits? I suspect you could make a Mary Jane mushroom LSD PCP fucking super drug from hell or something. Yeah. Why couldn't you mix the structures of drugs and make more potent or enhanced drugs? Of course. Are there limitations to science? Not that I know of. I mean, I suppose there's like rules in science and math in the universe, but that doesn't seem to stop people. Rules didn't seem to stop Sir Isaac Newton or Einstein or Stephen Hawking or. Rules and the laws of the universe don't seem to stop everyone who's creative, like Leonardo da Vinci or people like this. Oh, let me guess. Benjamin Song is on the loose, right? Benjamin Song, who attacked the ice and ambushed the ICE officers in Arlington, in Alvarado, Texas, near Arlington. Yeah, I went to Arlington to see the Rolling Stones concert 10 years ago. In Arlington, Texas. There was a lot more younger babes at the Rolling Stones concert than I guess they're going with their dad or their grandpa or great grandpa or something. That's why they brought out the Tang. The Tang, the young sweet poontang was out. The young sweet poontang was out tonight. Ooh, the young sweet poontang. Ooh, feeling tight. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So tight. All right. The young sweet poontang was out tonight. So that psychedelic weed was pretty crazy. Somebody laced it. It was, you know, I don't know if you can enhance weed naturally just based on the tetrahydrocannabinoids properties of the actual marijuana itself. But it did seem that it was unnatural to fly into the Star Trek movie. And so we were kind of baffled, I'd say. Yeah. You might have a good trip with drugs sometimes, but on the other hand, hey, you could also have a bad trip, which is unfortunate. Now, what was the one of the best marijuana moments? I saw. I had a weed. You know, I'm not making this up. This guy was called Keith Daniels, and it's one of those situations where like your friends, you know, that you grew up in high school and early 20s, like they move off to California or somewhere, but they have a connection. You know, when they come visit, they have an old buddy that still lives around here, besides yourself. And it was like, so me and Keith Daniels, I know it sounds like Jack Daniels, but the guy's name is Keith Daniels. And we went to go see Paul with like Simon Pegg. And we thought, oh, this is the perfect movie. Like it's going to have like, you know, aliens and like we're going to take this weed cookie. The thing about the weed cookie is that it depends on the digestion and the strength of the marijuana cookie, the potency of the cookie, the edible. So it didn't kick in until the movie was already over. So sometimes you have late kick-ins. It's kind of the problem. And that happened to me not just at Paul, but it happened to me at the 2011 Yes concert before Chris Squire died. So it's a false kick-in. Sometimes the stuff kicks in like in 30 minutes like it's supposed to. Sometimes there's a delayed reaction, maybe because of digestion or whatever. That's the problem with the edible. It's tricky because it depends on the potency, it depends on the latency, it depends on the onset. So you might have something planned like, oh man, there's this Pink Floyd concert or whatever. But if your bud kicks in late, now smoking is always the sure bet. Smoking weed because you're actually smoking it and the THC is going through your system. So there's no like late kick-ins. So, you know, it's a lot easier to realize that if you start hitting some bowls, you're going to be stoned, and then you can go into the movie or the concert. So we had a late kick-in, and it finally kicked in at the end of Paul where the UFO rises up, and then, you know, me and Keith are like, whoa. So, but then we got to drive back home, and we're fucking ripped. I mean, we're peaking, we're ripping, but we're like, you know, dude, we got the munchies because we're hit the edibles. Let's go to IHOP. Let's go to the old IHOP like we used to go to off FM 1960 in Champion Forest. And so we go to the IHOP. We go to the non-smoking section because we're not really smokers. I mean, except for, you know, special substances, I guess. And so we sit in the booth. We're just ripped. My favorite moment is that we don't know what to say, but we just sit there like, dude, I know, man, like, like, so the best part is that we're not saying anything. We're not communicating. We're just laughing because we're like, we're in the IHOP. It's so funny when you're like ripped and you hear other people's conversations because like when you're sober, the reason why we're laughing so hard is not only we're under the influence of marijuana, but because when you're on marijuana, you realize how absurd it is that people take life seriously. That's the part that why you're laughing so hard. You're like, why was I taking all this shit so seriously? Like it's like, good God, it's like, why? All this shit is bullshit. All this shit is a fake illusional reality. It's all BS. Like, look how serious. It's like Bill Hicks, you know, his comic routine. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I was taking life seriously for a moment. Good God. What's wrong with me? I think marijuana is the drug that makes you realize life's absurdity. Like, it's irony. You know, I think that's why marijuana is the most interesting drug because It's a contemplative, introspective drug, but it also makes you realize how amazing everything is, and also how absurd everything is in reality. So that's the fascinating part about marijuana, is that it makes you realize all those things simultaneously. What is there really a favorite marijuana memory? Aren't they all like usually pretty fun though? Yeah, it was funny because my movie theater friends, it was Chris and James, and Chris knew how to get the weed, but we had to go on a long voyage to get the weed, and it was these two blonde teachers, these hot, sexy ass blonde teachers. Somehow he knew these hot, sexy blonde teachers. I don't know if they had boyfriends or they're engaged to be married, but they were, you know. I was just too ill confident with women to try to score some blonde bush. You know, I should have just went for it. Fuck it, who cares? But they were these pot smoking teachers, and there were these hot, fucking blonde teachers too. These hot young chicks, and wow, they were getting ripped, and they were watching Patrick Swayze and Dirty Dancing with Jennifer Grey. I guess they were about our own age. So it wasn't like we had a huge age difference or anything. So I should have tried to get a phone number, try to get some bush, try to suck some titty or something. But, you know, I was just too not confident with women to take those bold steps, right? To go after what you really want, you got to be brave. That's the truth. So that's the real deal. Everybody who gets what they want out of life, they're brave, they're bold, right? They take bold action. So, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, generally speaking. I mean, of course, I'm not talking about like trust fund babies and stuff who like graduate high school and get like $2 million in their bank account or something. I'm not talking about those people necessarily. So these two blonde roommates, they live in these posh apartments in Houston, and they're like 3 or 4 stories up. I mean, we get to these girls' apartment, and they sell us the weed, and then we start taking some rips. You know, maybe we were like 20, we were like 24 or 25 back in the day. So we start taking these fucking, you know, these fucking pipe rips, and we're laughing because these are like 2 sexy hot blonde chicks. And then they're watching Dirty Dancing. They're talking about Patrick Swayze and shit. I guess they're talking a lot about guys at their school. Maybe they're talking about students. I don't know, inappropriately. And there are a lot of like naughty teachers that fantasize about like fucking like underage students and stuff. They get in trouble all the time too. I don't know if these were naughty teachers, but yeah, they seem like the type that are like kind of naughty teachers. Huh? So big buxom blonde girls, right? Like blonde girls with like big tits and like hot and like big ass and everything. It's like great. And so but they're funny, right? They're like always talking about guys, always getting ripped, talking about Patrick Swayze and shit. It was hilarious. Interact with these people. And so we take the rip, and the shit's really strong. And we're like, whoa, we can't handle it because we're like lightweights, we're like noobs. And I get where I need some water or something because I'm feeling dehydrated. The shit's really powerful. I'm fucking blazed. And then I go out, you know, maybe to smoke a cigarette with Chris, and we're on the 3rd story. We're just fucking blazing like the clouds and everything. It's like the third story of this apartment building. And I'm like, just like, whoa, this is so fucking intense. I'm fucking just beyond blazed. And so, I mean, I'm fucking ripped like the sky. I'm ripped like the clouds in the heavens. I mean, I'm just fucking baked. I'm just uber baked. And I'm fucking stoned. So I'm kind of like so wasted that like when I'm drinking the Perrier, I feel like the bubbles and everything, like everything when you're ripped, when you're stoned, it seems like every detail, everything is like so magical and crap. And I'm kind of having a little bit of a panic attack. I'm kind of having like a little bit of paranoia. I'm starting. It's kind of too intense, and so I'm trying not to be a pussy about it in front of these like hot blonde chicks. And it's like one of the chicks is like, oh, she's like, is your friend okay? And then James and Chris is like, oh yeah, he's all right. He's just it's just hit him a little bit hard, whatever. And then I was like, oh, thanks for the stuff. And she's like, oh, hey, good luck with that, all right? And she wasn't looking at us for like penis quest. Obviously, she was looking at that student body. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously, she was looking at. Hopefully, she was teaching college and not middle school. Hopefully, she wasn't looking at the 8th graders. Talking about, oh, don't you think that Johnny's so good? It might have been the high school. I'm not sure, but. Maybe one of the blonde chicks wanted some of that Tom action. Ooh. So then, I love how she said, "Is that the first time I heard somebody say, hey, good luck with that?" Like kind of sarcastically. Yeah, maybe the first time. I've never been stoned and asked and had somebody give me Perrier French sparkling water though too either. So a lot of unique experiences that time. So then we get in the car. I can't drive because I'm fucked up. So I think James drives and Chris is in there. So I have my Kraftwerk CD, Autobahn, the German band. And it's like, fun, fun, fun at the Autobahn. And we're like driving down the Houston freeways and stuff. Fun, fun, fun at the Autobahn. And then James proceeds to tell me about the history of Kraftwerk and Autobahn. I'm like, yeah, I didn't really want to hear that, but whatever. Listen to the fucking Autobahn song. Kraftwerk. Listen to the German techno-electronic music and enjoy yourself. Don't do any stupid human rationalizations. I don't want to hear that. I want you to just enjoy the amazing music and enjoy the voyage. Yeah. So that was some marijuana adventures. Yeah. Is there a bad time I had marijuana? I think plenty of people that have drunken alcohol can say, man, they had a bad alcohol time. But a lot of people, you're really hard pressed with marijuana to say you've had a bad marijuana time. Yeah. Usually those are always like exciting times. Those are always hilarious, like fantastic times. So yeah, maybe if you can't control your paranoia, maybe if there's something wrong with the THC levels, maybe if there's something wrong with the bag, the leaf, maybe if there's something, if your herb is laced with dangerous drugs or something. Most of the time though, if it's just regular herb, pretty standard herb, you're gonna have a pretty excellent time. And usually it lasts, my highs with marijuana, it lasts about like 4 hours. So give or take. I mean, sometimes it could be 3.5. Sometimes it could just be 3. But I don't advocate marijuana use, even though I just said that it was like awesome or something. I don't advocate marijuana use. I don't advocate sexual intercourse, except, unless you have good, condom, safe sex practice, It's like, yeah. I don't always get high, but when I do,
Go to bed. Now. Lay down and go to sleep. Go to sleep. Now. More crap. Lay down.
yeah. Maybe everybody maybe anybody who's ever had a problem with alcohol has a bad story. You know, like, I had too much drinks and then I fought a dude, or, you know, like, I had too many beers, I went to jail. You know, I had a fight I was drinking with my girlfriend and I broke the patio door. Maybe, you know, some people, I got DWIs, I got put in the drunk tank. You know, something bad can happen when you're drinking, right? I mean, something really not so good. Because it kind of awakens the demons of the emotions. Yeah. Right. It awakens the feelings. And that can be a dangerous thing. Is it kind of like alcohol kind of illuminates the demons inside. And that's really the issue with it. Is that, of course, you can have the spirit, you can enjoy the music, you can enjoy your friends, your family, etc. But it could also, you know, turn very dark if it's, you know, in excess, or it's not, you know, regulated properly, or there's a problem in the relationships or the situations to begin with. So, inherently. So, yeah, alcohol can be a demonic thing because you lose yourself. And you can lose your emotions. And you can do things that are unorthodox that you would not normally do. Like, you might not hit your brother in the face if you weren't drunk. But if you're drunk, you might actually get angry enough at your brother and hit him in the face. And you know, there's so many other examples. Now, there was... Now, people say that marijuana doesn't have a hangover. All right. So, but if you do an edible, you'll have like a body hangover. And it's kind of a weird experience because you'll be sober. You'll be going to work the next day or whatever. Maybe sometimes even early in the morning. And the weirdest thing is like you did the marijuana the day prior. And it's not really like a hangover, like you're dehydrated necessarily. It's more like, I guess it's a sober over. You could call it a sober over. A sober over. Yeah. It's like sort of like, you're like, man, I was really happy when I was ripped. And then it's sort of like, oh crap, I'm back at this factory. And you look at all the people and they're all like frowning and they all look sad. And like life is just some big task. Like life is some big chore. And you kind of chuckle. And you're kind of like, they don't know what I know. They don't know my secret, do they? They don't know the secret why I'm laughing at this dead end job, you know, on a early Monday morning. They have no idea that I had the marijuana secret. So you kind of like, look at all those poor people that don't know about the bud, don't know about the kind bud, and they're They're just not. They're just not clued in to the magic medicine, the medicawana. Look at these poor people. Look at these poor people. They're sad, just drowning all the time. Life is just such a big chore to them, right? Why is it such a chore? Such a bore. No, it's not only a chore. It's just a fucking bore. Look at this fucking just drudgery. You know, this fucking just monotonous grind of bullshit. It's just not very cool. But I don't know, it does kind of feel weird the next day a little bit. It's not like a hangover. It's not, unbearable like a hangover can be. It's more of a, oh man. It's more like a feeling of regret. Like, man, if more people just rip some kind bud every now and then, man, the world would be like super fun. It'd be super peaceful, I think. Yeah, that's just an observation. So they're gonna make the Cheech and Chong movie, The Last Ride. I think it's called the Cheech and Chong, The Last Ride. I always thought they should have called the last Cheech and Chong movie The Last Toke. Cheech and Chong, The Last Toke, The Last Rip, or something like that. That'd be great. Cheech and Chong, The Last Rip of Destiny. No, you can't add Destiny to every movie title, dude. Cheech and Chong, The Last Toke. The final ride of the Dope Blazers. Cheech and Chong, The Last Toke. A legendary film coming soon. Now that's a movie I can... Well, I was so sick of it all week on the internet. Superman, Superman, Superman. I'm like, oh my God. No, fuck no. Did I want to hear on the internet a fucking week about motherfucking Superman? Oh, it was awful. Like almost every single YouTube channel I like was talking about fucking Superman or the Superman review. And I was like, guess what? I do not give a flying dick butt fuck suck about a new fucking Superman. I could give two less of a shits less. So I don't care. So the movie cost what, $300 million or something? It made $155 million. Pretty good, for summer box office. It needs to make $700 million worldwide to turn a profit and not be a financial disaster. I don't give a shit if it turns a profit or not. I don't care if it bombs. I don't care if the second week it drops off and they fucking lose money. I don't give a shit about motherfucking Superman movie. And so thank God, I think after 7, 8, 9 days, all these people online talking on TV about fucking Superman, that next week will be better because at least I won't have to hear about motherfucking Superman. Thank God. Just such a bunch of horse ass hearing about fucking Superman. Yeah, I grew up, in the original Marlon Brando, Christopher Reeve days. And, the longer you live, you realize nothing's going to top fucking Christopher Reeves as Superman. It's just too fucking awesome. So, yeah. I wasn't born in 1978, but I was born in 1980. So 1980 Superman 2 came out. I started watching Superman movies. I was really sick when I was like 5 or 6. And I was, really bad ill. And I remember I took a contact, like a flu pill or a cold pill, and it knocked me out. And I woke up from the couch at my aunt and her boyfriend's house with my mother. And I saw it. Superman 1978 with Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, and Christopher Reeve. And it was like dun 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 dun. And I was like, man, this is fucking epic. Man, I almost fucking died over here, but look at this fucking epic. This epic fucking Superman, It's motherfucking epic. So, yeah, I love Superman 2. Superman 3. Yeah, Superman 3, a weird one. But I didn't hate it. It was just strange. It's almost one of those movies that's so strange that I almost love it. It's such a weird movie. Like, to be honest with you, now the weird thing about space-time is that everything that happens only happens in that one in that one time, in that one space, and it never happens again. Yeah, you could replay time like in a video, but the time itself never repeats. So time is timeless, is that in the fact that it only happens one time. It does not happen multiple times in infinite times. So time is unique. Not just is biological mortality unique, but also time is unique in the perspective of that events only happen in that one time and they do not repeat at least exactly. Like they're going to be different versions of Superman and Batman that happen, I would estimate, maybe even going into the 2100s, it could go beyond. I'm not sure how popular, if, these old comic books from the 1930s or 1940s, I don't know if they'll have staying powers into the 2100s and 2200s and stuff. It would depend if it, carried on the legacy by generation. It kept on being popular. It would depend on its endurance and popularity, right? Whether that was entertaining to people over long periods of time. But I'm talking about the uniqueness of time. So my grandfather's best friend, they won the lottery, $1 million in Louisiana. They won that one time on a specific lucky break, specific sequences. I'm talking about the uniqueness of the things that happen in time. And so that is like very similar to Superman 3. That's a product of its time. It's so strange, it's so bizarre that all those elements came together at that particular time to create that film, because what we think is, when we go see a modern movie, we think it's natural progression. So we think, if we go see a movie now in the cinema and we know that that's circa 2025, it's of that time, but it's inhabiting that unique space-time continuum signature, and it will never be replicated. It can only be replayed, but it can only be recorded the time and replayed. It can never actually happen in the same way ever again. Just like people cannot be the same people ever again. Even if they have children, they won't be like their mother or father. I mean, kind of, but not exactly the same. Even children can't be the same as their parents. Similarly. So even though the genetic code might be similar, it's different. So it changes and evolves through time. It's not static. It's not a static code. So I always said that Superman became less popular because he was an invulnerable superhero for the most of his comics and his films, except for Kryptonite, basically. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't really have any investment whether Superman by James Gunn's Superman is successful or not. I kind of don't give a shit. It could make big bank. It could break even. It could pay all of its budget. It could turn a profit, or it could drop off and just turn to shite. I don't care whether it sinks or swims. I don't care whether it fails or soars. To me, it's just not interesting, honestly. So, and I look forward to the day on the internet where I don't have to hear about James Gunn, motherfucking Superman, because I don't give a fucking shit about it. I don't give a what do they call it? I don't give a rat's ass about that, right? So. Yeah. Well. Yeah, it was I think pretty much does it for the team. I think we're gonna head out. Thanks for watching. God bless. Best of success. And that was the show right there. Almost clocking at 2 hours, I guess. Got to contemplate the future of cinema, the future of entertainment, the future of humanity, the future of artificial intelligence. Look at how many things there's to think about. Almost overwhelming for some. But don't stop thinking about tomorrow. The future is coming on, is coming on, is coming on. Like the gorillas. Yeah. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on, is coming on.